Okay, so I wasn't planning to talk today, but I will describe it now. So we have this. It's my tab. Okay, we have this service at the moment, and basically the idea is that the blocks here are all generated by AI, and at the moment it's just based on news, but we want to make it in a sense that someone can come and buy this service, enter their like idea, what do they want the blogs be about, and basically sell this as a service. So the idea would be to just sell this content generation for different businesses and different niches, basically. Yeah, and then we had the problem that at the moment the workflow is done using N8N, which was really easy to set up, but then the problem was that it's not scalable, basically. So that's a problem that we're trying to solve at the moment. Mainly Python, but I also like done almost many other languages, of course. Java, C++, even assembly, but lately most of the time it's with Python. Yeah, thank you. Have a nice day. Yeah, so the goal is to build a service that people can come and say, hey, I want this blog generated for me based on this niche, based on these topics. And then the pipeline of generating the blogs would run automatically daily, and then they would receive their blogs. And then this would then be sold as a service to the businesses or to the like content creators and so. And that's the whole idea. And you mean the code that I'm writing? Yeah, so basically I have this pipeline on n8n for generating blogs. And then, as I said, it's really not that scalable. What I mean by scalable is, for example, if you want to run multiple workflows at once. And then I'm basically re-implementing the whole workflow in Python now. So that's the whole idea. And I think doing it this way is might a bit slower, but it will make things really scalable. For example, when we get, let's say, 100 customers, we want to generate 100 blogs at one time, then this is definitely the way to go, because n8n it's definitely gonna fail, I would say, when it comes to high amount of workflows. recently heard something like interesting. One guy that is like way older than me, and he's also done much more stuff than I have done. He said that basically in programming and in IT, if you don't learn new stuff for maybe 3 or 4 years, then your usefulness would just drop in half. So basically you always have to learn, and you always should learn. And basically if you want to do stuff, and so you kind of have to learn. So basically anyone that with any experience, if they don't learn continuously for maybe, like, if they stop learning in 3 or 4 years, they basically become almost useless. So it's scary, but also really good to know, like, your difference between you and someone who worked for 20 years is not that much, because things are changing crazy. Okay, I also will try to comment here and there. But yeah, so at the moment, as you can see here, this workflow, there is this part for RSS feed, which basically, it was also really interesting to know that, for example, some of the web pages, they mostly news and stuff, there is this RSS part of their domain that basically they share their news and their articles in this XML format, and they will like forbidden you to crawl their web pages, but then they will share this. So if you want to like see what are new articles available on their web page, maybe you can't really look at them directly via scraping, but you can come here and then take a look at this RSS and then find a useful link here. And that's also what we are doing at the moment in our, for example, this blog generation pipeline. I mean, part of it, to get the latest news, we have a look at this RSS, like this feed, part of the URL and part of the news. And yeah, so at the moment, this is the part that has been implemented basically here. And basically we are like pulling out the interesting topics, interesting URLs. So that's the section here. And now I want to go and implement this part. JSON. Basically JSON is almost all over the internet, so it's a really good topic if you have a look at. Basically, if you want to transfer data, you would transfer it in a JSON format, for example. It's basically, let me just show you. Yeah, so basically you, maybe here. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, so for example, here, if I want to send a request to some server or anything, I will write the request in a JSON format. And when I want to send a request, I say, hey, the URL is this, and then for example, the API key is this, and then when I send this request to the server, this will be sent as part of the request. So this is basically JSON. You write your values in this
key value format. Basically, this would be the URL, and then this would be the value. And then that's the whole idea behind the JSON. And then when you also retrieve your, when you also, for example, get the responses back, they're also in the JSON format. For example, the URL is this, the success is true, the markdown is, for example, this. So JSON is something that you basically send the stuff around with. And yeah, basically in server and like almost everywhere, you they interpret your request in a JSON way. They expect it to be JSON, and then it makes things much cleaner and much better. Yeah, I was trying to fix someone else because fix something else. I realized that when I showed you this, I also kind of leaked my API key. So I was just changing my API key now. But yeah, I think it's one of the downsides. I mean, one of the side effects of live streaming. Okay. For Python, yeah, I mean, maybe not directly for Python, but for example, I created a like speech to text, and I also used Python for building this. So that's, for example, one of the videos that I will upload soon. And there are, at the moment, I don't have I probably will not have direct Python tutorial for now, but I will build many things, and most of it is basically in Python. So maybe that's also something interesting. But then I also will upload videos about like handling your own server. For example, at the moment, this website of ours is also, of course, on a server, and basically how I manage this server, how I upload my code, how this is served to on the internet, how you can access it, and so these sort of things are also something that I upload videos for. And for example, if you want to, let's say, share your game or make it available, public available, so someone can go to your website, maybe you can also find such videos useful, and like basically building your publishing your project or your code in such a way on a server. I also have some videos coming up
The website, no, basically the website part is mainly, basically the front end part is mainly what my friend is doing, and it's Next.js. So mainly just JavaScript. But then these services here, for example, in the workflow, we also here use some scraping tool to use to get the information on a web page, and then this is also built by Python. So basically I have these small services, these small things that, for example, I want to scrape web page, I want to get these parse these XML of these feed pages. Basically these are the things that I created a small server, and it's basically just acting as an endpoint. So if I need this this tool, this functionality, I will just send a request to the endpoint, and this endpoint is created using Python. This small server that I have to handle these sort of jobs, it's all Python. But then for the website, at the moment it's mainly Next.js, I would say.
Yeah, React, Next, these sort of things.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I probably will have a live maybe every Saturday or every Friday, but I also usually schedule before it. But yeah, I think making a post is also makes sense. So yeah, perfect. Good to have you. Okay, perfect. Good to have you. Nice.
So
Also another comment.
as a starting IT student, how do I get into this?
You mean building these software systems and so? Is that what you mean? basically training your own model. That's also something that I'm not really like, I don't have any idea, to be honest, so maybe I'm not the best person to ask. But regarding the chatbots and these sort of things, I think one of the main key concepts now is this agentic workflows, and how to like start to learning the agents. I think there's of course so much tutorial out there. One really good thing that I also, basically this what I'm doing now is also this. It's about small agents. Basically it's like a really simple, really lightweight like a library that you can build agentic workflows with. And there's also a lot of stuff online, of course, but the documentation is so light that you can just read through it, because the problem with some of the libraries out there is that the documentation is so complex that you get confused. But if you want to get into making chatbots and these sort of things, I think these small agents from Hugging Face, it's like a really good starting point. And you can also take your time, read through the documentation. It's super lightweight, and I think it's one of the good starting points if you want to start these agentic workflows and so. But yeah, of course, the thing that you need is Python. And if you also don't know much Python, you can of course learn along the way. And also these agentic things, now it's really a huge hype behind it. Of course it's good that you learn it, but I mean there's so much hype usually around, so it's not like, oh wow, I should start learning agents or I probably will be homeless next year. And so this is not the case. This is a hype, and it's a good hype. I would say there's a high chance that these sort of things would stay around. So if you understand, if you try to learn them, if you try to understand the concepts behind it, it's really nice. And I would say it's really worth it, because we are going into this direction in general, the development and things. But again, it's not like if you don't learn it, you're gonna be homeless next year or something. But it's a good thing to learn, I would say. making apps, this is also something interesting that I wanna have a look at, but personally at the moment, no, I can't really make an app. But I heard some good stuff like with this JavaScript, this React framework, or these sort of things. If you create a web application, then you can also transfer it, kind of convert it into an application. So basically your website would be your application. To be honest, I really don't know how it works, so don't ask me, but personally, no, I haven't made an app. Usually like these sort of services and these websites. Flutter apps. Yeah, Flutter, is it Java? I'm not sure. And Electron. To be honest, I also don't know what is called. The name, I'm also not sure. Could be Electron based app. Let me check that out. This app is yeah, it could be this one. Yeah, it could be, but to be honest, I don't know. I mean, this seems to be like the same concept. Oh wow, crazy, I didn't know that. Interesting. And how does this Electron apps work? Is it also like can export it from your, I mean, for example, let's say I have a website, can I also turn it into Electron app, or should I don't know, build it in a certain way or something? W3 schools, yeah, I think I also use the resources from that website. I kind of like I mean, it's good these AI assistants and this, like for example, Copilot here, but then my problem most of the time is that when I want to do something, it just gives me this like plus 184 lines of code. Just suddenly just dumps so much code that I don't know what is what. And
And then if I also accept it, for example, if I say to keep the changes, probably something is not working, and then trying to debugging that is also like a problem, of course. So usually code changes more than 50 lines of code or so, I usually just like press undo so I can just make the changes again. Thank you. Have a good night. It was really nice talking to you. Good stuff. See you later. What do you specialize in? Basically, your expectation from my channel can be these services that I build. I also share what I learn. And for example, this website that we are having now, this is a website that at the moment generates blogs automatically based on news. And we want to change this into like a format that can be sold to businesses. So you can expect from my channel that how to change your current application into something that is sellable, that you can sell to people, to businesses, and how to make things scalable. For example, going from this N8N type of workflow that you might have into an application that can like serve hundreds of people, running such workflows 100 times at one single time. So make things scalable. And also I share many tips on Linux and managing my server. So how I use Docker, for example, to make these small services on my server, for example, the database, the website, and so these are also the things that I share on my channel. And I've also already created a couple of Docker videos, and this will also be published soon. My editor has held my videos hostage, I don't know why, but yeah, he's a friend and there's some technical difficulties. I will start sharing this long-form content on my channel, and also streaming would be definitely part of it. Just this coming here, chatting a bit, coding a bit, and if you have a question you can just ask me. And these are the things also that I'm learning, and I will I can share it with you if you're interested. But at the moment, I think at the moment I'm more obsessed or like concerned with this whole idea of making this website into a service that I can sell or get users at least. I mean, selling it is not really the concern. Just trying to make a business out of it. And at the moment, this is my whole mindset.
and I just started with YouTube, I think less than a month or maybe almost a month. So my content is really it's not fixed yet, you know. This is the thing that I feel like I like doing it, and I also think there are many people out there trying to build some stuff. So maybe this idea of business, thinking of your software as a business, this also could help. Thank you. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, but if you're interested in such topics, please hit the subscribe. And I think there are really good, interesting topics that, at least in my mind, they seem really nice, and I would like to share it, maybe help someone else out there. Oops, sorry. Yeah, my GitHub is a bit dead at the moment. Just uploading some stuff on the these, for example, private organizations, these things related to the website and so. But maybe you'll find some interesting stuff on my repository. I don't remember really what's up there. Say public. Face authentication. Yeah, these things. I think the first one was one of the projects that I tried to deduplicate some text, and it was a bit painful, so I just figured it out somehow, and then I also made a repository out of it. But to be honest, I'm also not sure if it works or not. Yeah, also for 10 months ago. And how about you? Is it this agentic stuff, this AI thing? Does it interest you, or do you also do some projects, or what? I mean, if you feel free to, like, if you're okay with answering it, otherwise, no problem.
yeah, I think web development is a really good start in general. It's good to relate and get like good knowledge about many different things. To be honest, if you want to start a side project or something, I mean, again, I'm not really sure what are you into, but nowadays there are many services. Of course, one of them is this Lovable. You probably have also heard of it, and you basically can create your idea, at least the front end part of it, and then you can ask it to send a request to, I don't know, that endpoint, and then you handle the server on your side. Like handle a server basically on your own, and this can help you understand stuff. And also trying to think of things. For example, if you build something, you can also think of it like, okay, how can I sell it to people? Like, if someone would use this, what are the potentials? And so, I mean, this sort of thinking that you can also add to your mindset. But yeah, of course, a bit complicated, as I also am struggling with it. Debian, Arch, Hyperland. To be honest, other than Debian and Arch, Hyperland is still new for me. That's the first time I hear it. Yeah, I think web development also these days, maybe it's good to start with things, but I also heard that front-end development is getting like a bit tricky because of all of this AI stuff. But as I remember, the web development kind of helped me to like get a good idea of how are things working. For example, these servers, these services, this requesting and stuff, and so. Wayland. I heard about it before. And with Arch Linux, do you like install your own Wayland? I'm not really like I haven't really used Arch Linux, so I'm not really sure how things work there. Yeah, but this looks cool. Oh, I see. I think the last time that I heard Wayland was I tried to install and configure my own Gentoo Linux, which was also like a bit pain in the neck. And yeah, tried to do it, and yeah, it didn't work that well, I would say. And for this UI part of things, I think it was where I heard the Wayland. But may I also ask, what's the, like, if you configure such a thing, is it faster, or is it just like a really customized stuff? I mean, what's the idea behind it, if I may ask? Yeah. Super customizable with Vim keybinds. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, nice. Yeah, sounds cool. But for me, it was always
a bit, I don't know, I just use the default stuff that they put in front of me. Basically never got curious enough, I would say, to try to like make this sort of customization. But yeah, I think in the long term there's a chance that it increases the productivity. I'm not really sure, but kind of by the sound of it, maybe. Yeah. Okay, let me run this, see where we are. Okay. Please analyze the articles, use the scripting to full content. Back angle. Okay. Calling tool. Failed to scrape the page. Error code. You exceeded your current quota. Please check your plan. Billing itself from with information. Okay. So I think Gemini. Oh yeah. I think Gemini, it has of course free API, but there's a rate limit, I think. Okay. API keys. Manage API keys. Use API keys to access API. what the? With credentials, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think you can also find from Telegram bots to this deduplication and basically all over the place. But I mean, I also had the idea that I built this profile on LinkedIn, on GitHub, and then maybe later on this would work as a like good asset to show like the GitHub profile, what I've done, and so. But at that time, yeah, I started to do other stuff, and yeah, I couldn't really build that much stuff that I wanted. But in the end, I mean, every here and there, some projects, I think they're not bad. I think my main problem, that something that I really wanted to do, was to start working on an open source project and just contributing and start to share work on a project with others and so, but that didn't come from me yet. So usually yeah, basically so far it didn't happen. I don't know if I wasn't that much into it or whatever, but that's one of the things that I wanted to do along the way. But yeah, that didn't happen yet. You're in your bachelor's. I'm also in my master's, so not much of a huge gap. Advice. I mean, be curious and try to learn stuff. I mean, of course, you can't really learn all the time because there's your studies, and sometimes you might be harsh on yourself that, oh, I didn't do anything, I'm not learning stuff. But I think even just having the mindset that you have to learn new stuff and continue learning, I think having that mindset will just push you in the right direction. For me, it didn't come as a regret, but I thought that the courses and the grades are important. It helped me a bit, of course, but in the end, I think it was not that important. So having something mediocre might be okay as long as you use your time smartly. Like if it's learning new stuff, if it's trying new stuff, and so. But yeah, for giving advice, I don't know. Maybe that's like the advice that I had. But I think it's always so hard studying and also doing some stuff next to it. Studying, working, trying to even like do your side project, these sort of things are always hard. And personally, I find myself sometimes trying too hard to figure things out and keep everything afloat. But sometimes it doesn't happen, and I think that's okay. I think if you look at the long term and if you are just improving compared to your last year, I think that's a really good sign. Okay, I'm fixing my API keys because I made a mistake and I kind of leaked it here. I'm not sure if you realized or not, but my Gemini API key was leaked. I mean, it's like a free model, so at the moment nothing really crazy, but in general it's like a downside. Okay. Yeah, I would probably also cut it, but I don't know. There's also one part of me that wants to leave it there to see who would try it, but it's like usually no one tries it. I mean, it's also like a free model. Yeah, so at the moment I'm thinking about ending the stream, to be honest. I also wanted to just stream for 1 hour, but then it was a nice stream in the end. I kept going. But yeah, regarding the coding and the project, I will probably continue it next time, maybe next week. But yeah, in general, it's like interesting times. Also, best of luck for your studies and anything that you're doing now. Take care. Bye bye.